Phoenix so far. Tabor Tataka Preston inserting himself right into the thick of it. That's the second free kick he's already won in a matter of moments. South end filled to the gills as Las Vegas looks right into the belly of the beast. It's Andrew Carlton's free kick. Inserts the ball into the area. Strong defensive move by Arteaga to glance it away for a corner. Wangera praised his ability in these aerial set-piece situations to add to the defense, even as a striker in the midweek. We'll have to do a little bit more here, though, as Vegas have a corner. Rising have conceded a league-high 6 set-piece goals this year. Of course, 3 of those are penalties. All players for Las Vegas set up at the penalty spot. A kaleidoscope of runs as the ball is played to the back post and easily claimed by Rios Novo. Skewing throw to the chest of Trejo. And back for Crutzen in his own third. A whistle stop play. I think maybe Danny handled it. Certainly what Isidro Sanchez is claiming. I think the nearsighted AR has confirmed it. The rest of our crew today, Fernando Fierro, Clarence Clark, and Alan Martinez is the 4th official. Carlton will try set piece from an almost identical spot as the last one. This might be the best thing that he has in his locker. Andrew Carlton, his ability to insert himself into dangerous situations from dead balls. Decent delivery. About thigh high and tucked away by Zambrano. Las Vegas now back with it on the far side. Dipped back in towards the box, settled for Jimenez, who pushes towards the area. Preston has a hit with his left foot and just leaned back a bit too much. Curled it beyond the far corner and out for a goal kick. First real chance or opportunity, though, for Las Vegas so far.
Yeah, they're starting to really put themselves on in this game after Rising had maybe the last 5 or 10 minutes to themselves after Vegas were actually pretty good out of the starts. You remember, Carlton's opportunity as well, but this is a Phoenix team that you can't get pinned back. You can't give Vegas any room to get any more confidence going.
Crutzen driving forward, peering ahead, and with no option downfield, finds Hernandez in the center of the park, who delivers it backwards for Fuenmayor. Takes a couple dribbles ahead and tries to mortar a ball in behind the back line. Header is claimed, though, by Las Vegas, and they break out in a nice foul as Zambrano sensed the danger, sensed the counter, and just shoved Preston over from behind. This is already the 4th or 5th free kick for Las Vegas, though. This one from the center of the park, about, let's say, 30 yards away from goal.
Yeah, it's the 4th or 5th in the last 10 minutes. I don't remember them getting anything through the first 10 or so of the match, and they started to pick it up. They started to fly on in.
Las Vegas have scored 3 goals this year from dead balls. 2 of those have been corners. You give Andrew Carlton an opportunity, though. He is a player that can make a moment happen for himself. This from dead center over a 2-man wall. He goes for goal and slipped on his way to do it. Wasn't very well hit, out for a goal kick.
And that's what happens when you're facing the south end in the half. You make a mistake, the Banditos are going to let you hear about it. Carlton slips on his way, and almost everybody in the supporters section raises their hands in triumph as though they did that themselves.
The 12th man for Phoenix Rising at the back of Rocco Rios Novo to start this match here in the 20th minute. Here is Rocco in his own box, and that is a beautiful ball, switching from the near side of his area all the way to the far side of the pitch. Here's Munchoma, and forward for an overlapping Lambert, and tapped into the box, and there's nobody there. Counterattack moving a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, Eddie stopped his run is what happened. Lambert does a great job of overlapping, getting forward. We saw that last week against Orange County of Lambert as one of the center backs getting better at getting into the attacking wide channel. And just Eddie Munchoma, after he played the pass, stopped his run, stopped his momentum. And as Lambert tried to return the ball to him, he was not there.
That's something we saw Kevin do a little bit more in California, though, those overlapping runs from those wide center back spots as that ball from Leo Diaz is overhit and out for a rising throw in their own end. What does that add to Juan Guerra's offense, though?
Just another dimension, another wrinkle of an attacking player flooding forward.
Trejo has lost the ball in the center of the pitch, but the Las Vegas player has lost his footing. I think that's Bushy who's fighting through a crowd and somehow sticks with the ball. Gets it back, and now a ball down line from Zali towards the rising end, and kicked out for a corner by Crutzen, who wasn't going to take the chance there, dicing with danger. This one from the near flag.
And really quickly, not that it's relevant to what's going on now, but when you have that overlapping center back of Lambert behind an already overlapping fullback because they have a winger, overlaps upon overlaps, it's just all sorts of disorientation that can cause problems for the defensive side.
Carlton with a corner kick and outswinger, trying to storm in Las Vegas and take the lead. 23rd minute, still 0-0. Over the head of Arteaga and play to the near post, and play is stopped before anything can happen. Maybe a bit of infighting there around the penalty spot, and they'll do it again. It's actually Fene Varela who's standing about 10 yards from the corner flag, asking Carlton to get this up and over his head. 2 hands up from Carlton. Takes a stutter to the ball and plays short. Jimenez deking and diving and getting by Trejo and getting it back to Carlton, who neatly plays it into the box. Rios, and he's shoved off it. Well defended by Crutzen, and looking forward is Trejo, but he's left the ball behind him. Swallowed up by Las Vegas, and they set up in possession now on their own end. Zach Carroll. Sully. Dropping in for touches Jimenez, and he coasts by Arteaga and overhits a ball that's intercepted. And now with Fede, who's dancing about and waiting for runners to accompany him. Overlapper is Eddie Munchoma, and he gets the ball and pushes into the box and pushes by his defender and cuts it back. Varela has a hack, has another. First was blocked, second was on frame. But again, Jacob Bush, who sticks a leg out and just does enough. Rising still with it. Sembrano switches the play, high hanging to the back post and over a hit. Was looking for Arteaga, but he had a goal kick once more.
What a pretty first touch from Fede Varela, and it was rifled in. It wasn't softly hit by Munchoma. No, he struck it, and Varela, who was backing away with his right foot, just kind of turned one. It was glued to his foot, turns around, has one strike, has another, and he's been certainly the most active he has looked in a Rising shirt so far. I don't know about best. It's too early to tell that, but the activity, the desire to go out there and play seems very much there.
Well, that's a touch that saw him, and you understand why he was in a position to maybe play for Porto in Portugal, Celta Vigo. He spent time on loan there. That touch is a rarity. Not a lot of guys in this league can do that. Crutzen off the goal kick, wins it, and goes backward for Rios Novo, who goes forward for Harvey. 1-2 between Munchoma and Harvey, and Harvey was trying to shade off Andrew Carlton. Munchoma took it up after a foul was committed. Ryan, you thought maybe advantage should have been played, but it's whistled back, and now Carlos Harvey is grabbing at his lower body in the 25th minute.
Yeah, that was my first thought, but also good job from Gerald Flores. I think Munchoma, who was often running and had the space, didn't have the numbers. There was a 1-on-3, so you're not really going to want to give out an advantage situation in that moment.
Stop in the action. Good time to tell you the next 10 minutes are brought to you by Nerd Sash. If you're looking for smart, passionate NBA and NFL analysis and the best sports trivia in the game, do yourself a favor. Check out our friends at Nerd Sash. Scan the QR code on your screen to find Nerd Sash on all platforms. Nerds are where it's at. And where my attention is right now, Ryan, is on the field where Las Vegas was actually the one awarded the free kick.
Yeah, it might have been a simulation or something like that. They didn't give a yellow card, so it probably wasn't that.
Interesting call from Gerald Flores as it ends up a footnote and we play on. Jousting for it on the near side, several players, and there's the whistle once more as Hernandez was chopped down. Ill-fated tackle from Jimenez. Rising play quick, and Fede Varela trying to cut through and create some space. Took a poor touch, but recovered well. Got it to Trejo, who switched the play for Lambert. Now he plays down line when Joma has some space and some room on the far side. Harvey slotting in, center of the park, and now Hernandez and Zambrano and Crutzen in the attacking half and down line for Trejo. Trejo maneuvering in on his right foot, crosses it. Diaz with a strong claim. As that ball curled towards the far post, toward Eddie Manjoma, who's waiting on it.
Yeah, go back to that foul in the rising defensive half on Las Vegas. That's one of those where as a player, you put your hand over your mouth and you fake a cough and say makeup call. That did not look like a lot, but it's what happens. It's early on in the game. That's an easy one to call if you're a ref as well. And yes, that is me siding with a player, Peyton, and not the official in a game.
How many of those dollar beers did you have before the game?
None. So, do you want to tell the producer count story, or do we want to save that, or do we not want to tell it?
That one's redacted. Here's Eddie Manjoma. Hernandez wobbling into a pocket of maneuvering room in the center of the park.
Wobbling.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a
Twist.
Shoulder feint and a twist, and worked himself into some good space. Here's Lambert with Acreage. Deflected off Carlton. Some thought maybe handball, but no call, and hung down the line for Manjoma, and it just carried and went out of touch for a goal kick. Phoenix have been more inclined to play that longer ball, especially in the wide areas so far.
Looking to break Vegas in certain spots. How do you break down a low block? You've got to pick your moments. And Rising like their effort in the wide areas with Trejo and Manjoma, and even Harvey's getting further wide than you'd like. So stuff like that. I love this from Vegas. When they go goal kick and they send everybody long and everybody is packed in a 15-yard radius, that's the perfect example of a team trying to win a ball in the air and then win a second ball if they don't.
They don't win the first ball that time, but they do win a throw as Zambrano scatters into action and cuts it out. Stauffer, a long attempt toward Bataille Faz, and just slammed into the south end as Faz tried to take it first time. That was maybe the wrong idea there. Crutzen will take this goal kick. Allows Rios Novo to effectively play as an extra center back in the build as he quickly swaps the ball to the far side for Fuenmayor. Arteaga with a bit of hold-up play, and he does nicely. Lambert cutting in as he straddled the far touchline, and Rising were architecting well there, but Las Vegas broke up the play and win a throw. Again, it's Jimenez just right in the thick of everything. Throw taken all the way back to Leo Diaz. Carroll and Diaz thought about booting long as Arteaga came to press, and now he does. Down the right side, over the head of Ale Fuenmayor. This could be trouble. And Crutzen has his fellow backline man's back there as he sweeps in and takes the sting out of it. Pinballing around now on the far side and out for a Vegas throw. Half an hour in. All quiet on the Western Front. Carlton. Denny Rios struggling to maintain, and eventually he does lose it to Zambrano. Phoenix looking for the idea, that moment of brightness and sharpness to get that first goal. And it's not going to come here as Zambrano has his shoes tied together, can't sort them out. And it's Preston down the far side now, pushing into the final third, pushing the issue. Stauffer with a tap dance, looking to guide his way by Crutzen, but the big Dutchman's going nowhere. Well defended and out for a throw. Daniel Crutzen really starting to find some comfort in a rising shirt as Vegas attempt a long throw to treat this like a set piece. He'll get it into the box. Thought about it. Now they go short to Carroll, who's deep in the attacking half. He puts a ball in back post, and Rios Novo claims in a crowd. Thought about punting to start the counter. Carlton did a good job to make sure he couldn't do that, but Rios Novo picks out a wide open Daniel Crutzen, who defers now. Fede Varela and Trejo, who just goes right by the defender, Stauffer. Trejo with options. Trejo in the box. Trejo with a ball roll. Trejo across the 6, and just late as Carlos Harvey, inches away, maybe a stud's length from poking that in.
That's two now where Trejo and Harvey have just been, I don't know, not even a half second, maybe a fourth of a second off. They are so close. And that was, again, wonderful from Trejo. Hit him with a little swim move on the way through. Put the ball around him with his right, go over his left shoulder, and find your way through into the area.
Feels like there's a little bit more voltage to number 17 in red tonight.
It feels like that with Varela. It feels like there's a lot more flair being asked of the players this evening.
There was a calm but noticeable confidence this week in the midweek that we hadn't seen in a couple weeks with this team, and that's really bled into their play, it feels like, so far.
Yeah, training felt a little more lax on Wednesday, watching them, and not that they were going through the paces, let's say, but it seemed a little less like rigorous, and we have a job to do, we got to figure this out. It didn't seem as tight, essentially.
That's what 2 wins on the skip will do for you.
Yeah.
Play's been stopped. Gerald Flores is calling the physio on, it looks like. Everybody in the field of play is standing right now, but maybe some blood, maybe a head injury. Still trying to sort it out. The one with the ball right now is Rocco Rios Novo. Is Kevin Lambert, who was involved in that muck-up on the far side, and they're just going to play a brief drop ball that Rios Novo will trigger. Sembrano. Hernandez and flung wide. Lambert right back. Fuenmayor. Rios Novo is about 40 yards out of his own goal, as that's a beautiful arcing ball from Fuenmayor to the near side. Trejo and Varela interchanging and weaving the pattern down this near side again. And Trejo's lost it. Couldn't take on Jacob Bushu there. And Preston countering quickly. Playing a pass too strongly to Faz's feet, as he can't wrangle it, and it's out for a rising throw. Or so it would appear. That's what Denny Trejo thinks, but Las Vegas will take it. Didn't get a chance to look at the flag of Fernando Fierro there. Stauffer, high ball. Again, the 50-50 ball is won by Phoenix, but Harvey can't control. All the way back to Diaz, who puts one on a pin's head for Preston on the near side, who took it down with his chest, but in doing so just leaned back a little bit too much, and it's out for a throw. Varela and Trejo. Varela flips it into the channel for Arteaga, approaching the final third. Back to goal and deferring to Trejo, who has eyes for the attacking moment and chips one up right onto the foot of Arteaga, but he can't bring it under a spell. But Trejo rushes in to win it back, and in doing so, got a little bit overzealous and has committed the foul and is now grabbing at his knee. Danny Trejo, who's played so well early on against his former club, Las Vegas Lights, in a bit of discomfort. Looks like he's going to be able to get up, though. It's always awkward as a player when you step in and bend at a weird angle. Almost have to wait a couple seconds to make sure you're okay. Diaz away. He strung that ball out down into the far corner. Retrieved by Rios Novo and nowhere to go but out of play. Throwing one for Las Vegas, and that's well done by Leo Diaz to flip the field. It's almost with this Las Vegas team like that's a punt put into a coffin corner situation, gives your press a chance to corner the opponent in their own ends. Preston. And Preston. And still Preston. And then Fuenmayor. Trejo's back up and involved. Flips his hips and delivers backwards for Crutzen, who slices the ball across the full breadth and width of the field to Manjoma, who's worked his way by Carlton, and now giving the ball away. And Carlton has it now in a crossing area, far side of the box, pushing towards the byline. A nice tackle's put in by Kevin Lambert, out for a corner. 37th minute, Las Vegas trying to conjure that moment of opportunity. Crowd here at 38th and Washington approaching capacity. $1 beer night Friday night. That South End is certainly full. Carlton's ready. His ball a mile high to the back post, trying to square it as Jimenez. Missed it on the first stab, but recovers to it nicely. Plays back for Stouffer. Hangs one to the back post. Nobody's there. Carlton's able to reach it, though. Strong chested touch. Gets by Varela. Is still twirling and twisting and eventually tackled. Out for a Las Vegas throw as Varela, the one who ripped it away from him but couldn't keep it on. Las Vegas go again from the far side. Carlton. Shock of blonde hair and quality. Blurs one into the box. Takes one hop inside the 6 and is chested down by Rocco Rios Novo. One of 2 goalkeepers in this match from Lanús, Argentina. At least Rios Novo playing his club football there. As Carlton can't get back to his feet and feels the boos of the South End. Leo Diaz, natively of Lanús, Argentina, was with River Plate, had played in a Super Classico before this on loan from the Argentinian Giant Club. Carlton's still down. South End is always ready to make it hard on the opposition, but they seem particularly primed to make Andrew Carlton's night uncomfortable.
Yes. I will say, on a side note here, as we entered almost the 40th minute, I don't think we've encountered a player like Preston Taboreteke yet this year. He almost feels like a rising player. His ability to take people on, that fancy fleet-footedness that he has and his game almost requires. He feels like a guy to me. When I watch him, it feels like a Danny Trejo type player. I don't know that we've gotten vibes from guys this year, and talented guys have come into this building. And the only other one that can come to true mind is Ronaldo Damas at San Diego. But Taboreteke is not as direct. He's more drive the touchline. Damas is much more get into the box. And I think Preston is maybe my favorite player from an opposition that I've encountered this year through the first 40 minutes of this game. He's just fun. He gets on the ball inside his own half. You know he's carrying it into the other side. He's going to take 4 or 5 touches, provide you with a couple of step overs. It's really been enjoyable to watch.
He's been sharp. He's been biting so far. The downfall of the Cameroonian winger, though. 21 crosses this year failed and only 1 completed, so that final ball has been missing for him. Here's Fuenmayor in the center circle. It was a drop ball that Rios Novo set back in motion. And Crutzen in his own half. And return right back for Fuenmayor, who pings the ball ahead. Up high for it is Trejo. Battling with Stouffer as the ball is traced into the near corner. Stouffer looks up and lost it down the line, right to the feet of Zambrano. 40 yards from goal, and Zambrano crushes the ball to the opposite corner flag. Just a touch overhit again for Eddie Monjoma, who looked to creep in the back door.
I don't mind it from Renzo to drive one like that, but when you have Kevin Lambert 20 yards away from you, you can laser one across the ground and continue to possess and rotate the Vegas back line. Why wouldn't you? I know it's less risky, it's not as cool looking, but it's more effective that way. You can switch the play, and then Lambert can play that diagonal. You go 1-2, switch it back the other direction where it came from initially, and then all of a sudden, you've turned heads twice. You've created more difficulty for the defense to read it. That seems like the smarter decision.
The word for this team has been lately to take the chance. That's something that this coaching staff has preached, to be a little bit less tame and build up, to let your quality shine through. When you go to hit a ball like that, if you're Renzo, is that something that exists in the back of your mind?
I think that it's not just the coaching staff, but it's inherently what the players are as people. You want to be more creative, and Juan Guerra's brought in a lot of people who are creative in their style and their expression of the game.
It's a great touch, and an even better ball from Kevin Lambert. Trying to be creative is Carlos Harvey. Left the ball a little bit behind Zambrano, but Renzo recovers well to it. Now Danny Trejo cutting in and approaching the box and switching it to the far side, and again it's just over a hit from Monjoma, who was out of the blocks quickly there. Side to side, though, it seems like it's a conscious effort from this Rising team now to keep it moving from touchline to touchline.
Yeah, definitely. That one I understood a lot more of. That's Trejo cutting in. You're too far away to shoot. You've got to run. Monjoma's got all the space in the world on that far side. Just loft one in there. Take a chance on it. And that one made more sense to me.
Nonetheless, a goal kick for Phoenix, who are still looking for a real look at goal. They've had a couple close calls, but nothing that's made Leo Diaz sweat too much. Zambrano up for it. Now Arteaga with it. And a pack of 3 Las Vegas defenders, but he does brilliantly. Plays backwards and now Rising go forward. Hernandez in wide. Monjoma overlapping. Monjoma cutting inside, now cutting back out. Trying to twirl away from his man. And poked out for what will be a corner for Phoenix. And here come the Cavalry. Little less than 4 minutes till halftime, at least until the stoppage to be announced. Phoenix with a real opportunity from a corner kick. Leo Diaz well off his line as it comes soaring in across the 6 and is one in the air by Zali. Rushing back to recover it is Crutzen, and he does. Monjoma out of position here on the near side off the restart. Trejo, a heavy touch and a sliding intervention from Luke Stauffer. Takes it out of play for a throw and stops the momentum for a moment for Phoenix. Glenmeyer will take the throw in, at least he's the one who got there first. And he will toss it in to Varela, who checks in nicely and smartly. Returns it for Fuenmayor. And Zambrano, and right back into the center for Crutzen, and right back for Zambrano, who gets it ahead of Preston and Varela. And downline well for Fuenmayor, who hung out down near the attacking half, who tries to get across, and it's blocked by Andres Jimenez, and Fuenmayor takes the go in swiftly. All the way back to Rios Novo. And Lambert. And Fuenmayor on the near side now. And Rising reshuffle the back line as Fuenmayor again rainbows the ball to the opposite side. Again looking for Monjoma, and again out of the field of play, this time by the touch of a Las Vegas defender and for a throw. Only waiting on the board to go up here in this first half. Crutzen cutting forward and ambitiously into the attacking half. Harvey with a high touch. And Trejo at the edge of the box, and Trejo's lost his footing. Nice defensive play by Las Vegas to win it. And Preston's on the counter. Porteo Faz down the far side. Spins Renzo Zambrano about in a loop. Now Jimenez, and he crosses from deep. And there's maybe a step ahead as that ball lingers and ends up over the far touchline. It's only 1 minute of stoppage time.
It was Not a great decision from Trejo, I think, in that attacking space. He saw blood in the water and tried to go it himself. He had Monjoma spare to his right. Should have taken advantage of it.
Drifted in towards Rios Nova. One last attack in what's been a relatively threatless half from Phoenix Rising. Crutzen perusing down line, and a nice stop of the ball from Danny Trejo and Arteaga combining, and back for Zambrano, who looks up and looks right. There's nothing there, and said plays forward towards the edge of the area. Arteaga waiting on it, but Vegas do it quickly in first. Tick, tick, tick. And 2 whistles indeed. 45 down, 45 to go, and 0-0 here on Dollar Beer Night. Phoenix Rising, Las Vegas Lights, scoreless at the curtain fall. Don't go anywhere. Halftime commentary and comments coming up. We hear from Amanda Vandervoort. We take the time with her, making herself available to talk about all the developments with the USL Super League and Phoenix's new team. Don't go anywhere. This is Rising Radio.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes, and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align. Because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Scoreless after 45, but our attention now up in the gantry as we're joined by USL Super League President Amanda Vandervoort. Such a big moment here for this community. Such a big moment for women's soccer. The USL Super League announced Phoenix will have one of the original teams.
What an amazing night this is. The fans have been incredible, and I'm so honored and so proud to be part of Phoenix Rising and the USL and bringing the professional women's soccer to Phoenix.
Here on a night like this, I have to wonder about where your mind goes and the vision for what can maybe be created at a place like this, Phoenix Rising.
I've got my nieces here, Cora and Kylie, and we've been sitting here looking out at the field, and I keep saying to them, 1 year from now, there's going to be women out on that pitch. And yeah, Cora, you know what? You can be a professional soccer player one day. You know what? You can also be the president of a league. And so thinking about all of the opportunities to play the game, work in the game, watch the game for women and for fans of women's professional soccer, like, it's just such an amazing moment.
You hear this term a lot, see her, be her, right? for you to be in that opportunity, that position, to be the one who's seen, to create this opportunity going forward and to lead that line, what's that mean to you?
Oh, it's humbling. It's pressure. I feel the weight of the responsibility on my shoulders for what that means. And also, I see the opportunity ahead. Listen, I grew up here. I'm an Arizona kid, and I didn't have professional soccer in front of me as a woman. And so now being in this place and walking around this stadium tonight and high-fiving all the little girls and the little boys who can now look up to women as professional footballers in Phoenix, it's touching and it's moving and it's absolutely incredible.
So I almost feel like, and you kind of hit it right there perfectly, the answer almost writes itself, but why Phoenix?
Phoenix, what a market.
Yeah.
It's an amazing market. Listen, first of all, props to Phoenix Rising and what they've built in this community. This club has absolutely been a standout club for the USL, and we're incredibly proud of this group and what they've built in the fan base here in Phoenix. So it's a no-brainer to me, really, to bring professional women's soccer. This is one of the hottest markets for soccer and for women's sports and for sports more broadly. What a great town.
So the league's set to kick off in 2024. For you personally and for the league as a whole, what are the goals coming into that first season?
So we kick off August 2024, and we'll play through the international match calendar through till June. So we'll have a winter and a summer break, which gives our players the opportunity to manage their international schedules with their club schedules, compete in the Women's World Cup, which you'll see this summer in Australia and New Zealand, right? What a cool moment for the fans of Phoenix Rising to come together and support international soccer. Our goals are to be a global leader in the game. We want to set the standard for professional women's soccer and be part of that conversation about gender equality, women, that women are professional athletes, and that there is a return on the investment on women's professional sports. That's what we're seeing today. We're building a league. The Super League is for the future of women's sports, and we're excited to be part of that.
You see the support from around the Valley, especially for the Mercury and other women's sports. Arizona State, really well supported. Did that factor at all into your decision in bringing a team to Phoenix, to this infrastructure?
This city is amazing. I went to the Mercury game last night. It was awesome. The fans are incredible. This community is inspiring. Totally engaged in the game itself, and has demonstrated time and time again through national team games, through the excitement and support of the U.S. women's national team, really how strong and how powerful this community feels about the women's professional game.
So Amanda, you said it yourself. You got your nieces here in the booth with us. For you and for all the little girls, what is the most important thing that you can communicate to them with this league in this moment in time in women's soccer?
It's simple. You can be it. You can do it. Like you can play the game you love, and you can be a professional, and you can get paid to do it. You know what? You can also work in the game you love. Maybe being on the field isn't your long-term ambition, but you can be in media. You can be in the front office. You can do sponsorships. You can be an executive in professional women's sports, and then you can do it right here in Phoenix.
Sure. Amanda, thank you for your time. You're doing great work. We look forward to everything to come in the next year.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us as we step aside. Rising Radio, our coverage continuing after this, still 0-0 at the break between Phoenix Rising and Las Vegas Lights.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
What would you give for a child you loved to make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. You see, wishes are so powerful, and you can make them real. They can give a child back their childhood, even change the way they feel. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine. Wishes need stars like you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Many Americans have missed regular dental care in the past few years. It's important to see a dentist twice a year to identify any problems early. Taking care of your oral health helps overall health. Brushing at least twice a day with fluoride toothpaste and flossing daily can help prevent oral health problems. For more information, visit hrsa.gov/oral-health.
Hello, son. I'm Dean Rubin from college. Here to invite you to join us this fall.
Me?
You've always wanted to go to college, correct?
Yeah.
Well, here's that invitation you've been waiting for.
Joey, out of bed.
Wake up. You can't dream your way into college. There are actual steps you need to take. For all the steps, visit knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
Does this sound familiar? Tired of listening to this every day? How does this sound? Tune in to blazeradioonline.com. With thousands of songs on display, you can be sure to sing your blues away via our broadcast, running from 6 a.m. to midnight every day of the week.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
How to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
He embarrassed her in front of others. She kept it to herself. He called her names. She didn't say anything. He pushed her. She still remained quiet. He punched and kicked her. She's now in the hospital. If you don't stop them, they won't stop bullying you. Stand up against the bully and raise your voice. Break the silence. Stop the violence.
This message was brought to you by mass communication students of Abu Dhabi University.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
Only moments from the second half here on Rising Radio, a fruitless first 45 here in Phoenix. Peyton Gallagher and Ryan Sikora here at halftime. It was lovely to catch up with Amanda Vandervoort, but now we insert you back into the mix, Ryan, and considerably downgrade our broadcast to talk about this second
Yeah, how was it? How was the interview?
Excellent.
I had to run to the restroom. The problem I've discovered now with Dollar Beer Night is that it's also everybody has to use the bathroom night. So long wait, but that's what the joy is. Everyone's at the bathroom, and now you come back, you get in your seats, and you understand that, hey, you didn't waste any time. You didn't have to sit around for halftime. You come back, and there's football on. They're all coming out. We're ready to go. Rising need to make some adjustments. They need to start to attack with a little more presence out there, I think, in the second 45.
Is there a tactical tweak? Is there a personnel tweak for Juan Guerra? Or is he going to hold the line, stay the course, and start this second half off with the same ideas that he had in the first half?
I think it's the same at the start, and you give yourself maybe 15 minutes or so to figure it all out. Give me Babacar Jai at some point in this half. And that's like, I know we have at times over the last season and a third, said that sarcastically. I genuinely mean it now. That's the beautiful thing about Babu is you've got this idea, this guy who can create, and it's probably Babu for probably not Harvey, but maybe either Zambrano or Hernandez, and you slide Harvey further back, you slide Trejo into the middle of the pitch, and you bring on a guy like Jai onto the left. You've got Manjoma on the right. We've seen Gabby Torres, maybe a chance to get him back into the team. So we'll see today. I think it should be fun.
As you said, Gabby Torres available today, as is Henry Usachukwu. But no alterations out of the dressing room for Juan Guerra. A rare opportunity for the home side to charge into the south end in the second half as we set off the second 45 in motion from 38th and Washington, and Rising chase ahead and try to get back onto the front foot and take the lead for the first time tonight. They'll get a chance to do it from a goal kick as Las Vegas quickly lose possession. Biggest thing in the first 5 minutes is what?
Figure out how to break down the low block, but it hasn't truly been a low block at the same time. But it's not like Vegas are pressing with a purpose. They're just pressing out there like banshees. Wherever the ball goes, they go. That's the hardest part about it, is there's no clear, direct tactical moment to it. It's just go get the ball.
Rocco's lost the ball out of play. A quick throw into the box, in trouble for Phoenix, and Rocco's able to pluck it up ahead of the line as Mateo Foz tried to take a long throw into the area from Preston and make something happen there. Tossed ahead for Zambrano. Deep in his own half and with his back to goal in his own ends, Arteaga will hold off. Looks like Jimenez will lose the ball. Mateo Foz and widen into the final third for Preston, who hooks across out of touch. Did it take a touch? No, it didn't. Goal kick. Again, slow out of the gate for Phoenix, a little disjointed.
Yeah, you read my mind on it. I don't know if because of the interview we got a chance to do our first half stats anywhere, but only 4 shots for Rising on 61% possession. That's just not clear enough. There's not enough cutting edge there.
Juan Guerra is animated on his touch line. Black t-shirt, black training pants, and black shoes.
He took off the white.
He did. Maybe a signal of more stern intentions here in the second half.
Maybe. Could have been hot.
That is also fair. Diaz hits ahead. Caroms through midfield and glances off the forehead of Crutzen. So Rios Novo can pick it up in his own box. Instead, he decides to slowly push it out with his feet. Zambrano flips wide as Crutzen approaches midfield. Trejo again back to goal as he links up with Hernandez, who coasts by Jimenez and keeps on cutting forward. He's fouled, dragged back from behind, free kick to come. They'll bring it way back to the midfield line. So the foul occurring at the top of that run. No advantage there. Varela circulates the ball for Flenmayor. On the right side of the attacking half as he strides tallly towards the attacking goal. Now Manjoma with it. Swooping towards the byline and pushing back into the area. Heavy touch from Harvey. Hits a shot falling away. Blocked out and batted away from danger by Las Vegas, but Rising press in and win it back. Harvey battling through defenders. He's held off 2 Las Vegas players and diving in to make a tackle. Looks like the fullback here on the near side. Tyler Bagley sticks in and wins it, but only for a moment. Corner coming for Phoenix in the 49th minute of play. Hard here for these Las Vegas players to be identified. Sky blue numbers on white shirts on the far side.
Happens.
In swinger from Crutzen, headed towards goal. It takes a block, takes a touch, and it's out for a goal kick. Headed straight down at point blank, I think, by Kevin Lambert.
That could just be me, but I thought that might have caught the hand to one of the guys in sky blue numbers. But again, far side, that could have simply just been my view. Much better start through the first 5 minutes for Phoenix now. And, I mean, we've come to kind of expect that. It's a rising team, 11th game of the season. They have not scored in the first half of, I think, something like 8 of their games. And they have, I think that's the most of any team in USL. They are inherently slow starters that come alive here in the second.
Well, that's a sweet 1-2 between Varela and Trejo on a high hit ball towards Harvey. Carlton drops in, cascades back towards his own goal to clean it up. Arteaga pressing towards Diaz, and the goalkeeper gets it off his foot. Takes 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce, and a header off of Lambert. Back to Rios Novo. Ryan doing a little dance here up in the booth, feeling the drum beat.
Fun.
Great radio. Zambrano. And Fuenmayor with room. As now he's pressed down upon by Rios, and Fuenmayor drives the ball down the far touchline, or rather I should say the near, but offside is Eddie Manjoma, who's been waiting to make that move all match long. The service just hasn't been there. Feels like that's been the plan of attack, trying to open them up on switching balls from that strong left side with the attacking prowess of Varela and Trejo to set up the speed of Manjoma on the near side. The connection just hasn't been clean.
Yeah, it's just a ball away. That's the frustration. I was talking to Owen at halftime, and Owen kind of shared the sentiment. Owen, not as kind about it, but I think there's the idea that they can have possession, and they're just the final ball away from really being able to take over this game.
That being Owen Evans, the intrepid reporter himself. If you're listening to this broadcast, you probably know of him.
Well, if you don't, we mention him every week.
We do now. Las Vegas will toss it in deep in the rising half. A throw from the far side. Into the box, touchdown once by Mateo Faz, and Stauffer hooks across in over the head of Andrew Carlton and picked up by Harvey, who doggedly presses forward but can't get by Bagley. Rising will take a throw. Lambert runs over to pick it up. Walks it up the line and throws all the way back to his goalkeeper, Rios Novo, who sticks a leg out, hits it first time, beautifully weighted ball from the Angelino goalkeeper. Down line to Trejo, who whirs his way through midfield, and now Carlos Harvey in a pocket of space, interchanging to this left side. Flings wide for Varela, about 50 yards from goal. Zambrano pivoting, picking up the pace, and poking a ball back for Fuenmayor. Now Hernandez, and hit ahead. Trejo in the half space. Can't just redirect that ball, though, to Harvey. Looking to break out Las Vegas, but they lost the handle on it. Rising will take it up for a throw just inside the crook of the attacking half, pinned up against the midfield line. Far side, Zambrano wiggles into a bit of room and locates Kevin Lambert, who filters wide for Manjoma, who gives it right back to Lambert, now backpedaling into his own end, and Rios Novo. Las Vegas stretched to meet Rising in their own half. Zambrano trying to take up for that newfound space and take advantage, but quickly loses it and quickly gets it right back. Fuenmayor. Lambert. Lambert just walking with it. Vegas refusing to press the issue. Now they do. And now Lambert blasts the ball to the opposite side, headed down by Crutzen, and into the corner it goes. Carroll's trying to shove Trejo away from it, and he does. Effective shielding. Las Vegas take the long throw. Stauffer catapults it in. Crutzen, the one who meets it. Bouncing out again, and this time it's Rising who will toss it in. In the center circle, Kevin Lambert, scorching ball, cutting across the grass to Munjoma, who cuts in, pushes towards the box. Eddie Munjoma still. Eddie Munjoma! He maneuvered his way through all of the Las Vegas team, but couldn't get by Leo Diaz, who pushes it away at the near post. And now the goalkeeper falls to his backside in the frame of the Las Vegas goal, and play is stopped. The South End's letting the goalkeeper know. Well saved from him. What a run, though, from Eddie Munjoma.
And there's the flair. There's the indifference that we've seen that's been hampering him. It goes away. Finally, you find a guy who's ready to run forward and go after it. We've only really seen Trejo, maybe Varela in moments do that, but Munjoma, of all characters, decides he's going to have a go.
Believe it or not, as Leo Diaz is being tended to now, Rising, for what has at times been described as a lack of ambition and creativity in their attack, they lead the league in successful take-ons coming into this week. In large part, that is because of the quality of players like Eddie Munjoma. Just need to see it more.
Also, when you've got 65% of the ball, that helps as well, of course. And it's also, again, Juan Guerra does urge that kind of style. We'll see how it goes. I believe they are hearing me down in the dugout, and they are going to go to Babacar Jai.
Your wish is Juan's command, and here comes the Gambian. Been a good week for the nation of Gambia, at least in the footballing sense. They've really excelled down in Argentina at the U20 World Cup.
Anytime you beat France in international competition, you'll take it.
Of course,
go ahead.
This league has many Gambian players as well. It's been a real bridgeway into the professional game.
And Rising's had a couple as well. You look back last year, Lemon Jane hung out with us for a while, got here on a 25-day contract and stuck it out through the rest of the season. I think that it's fascinating to me, and again, we speak about it every broadcast, the development of Babacar Jai. Last year when we saw him coming off the bench, it was not the happiest thing in the world, and now it's almost a joy. It's like a cheer. Yes, we're getting Babacar Jai to come onto the pitch and give us a chance to maybe see a little bit more attacking verve.
Scored that wonderful goal against Loudoun United to make it 3-1 and put the icing on that win. The ball once more moves and is with Fuenmayor as Diaz will carry on. Headed back in towards the area by Crutzen. Unable to catch up is Danny Trejo. It wouldn't have mattered. He was offside. About 10 minutes into this half, and both teams with a raft of players warming on opposite corners of this near touchline. Hit long by Diaz, one high by Fuenmayor, and settled well by Arteaga, only to be intercepted and have play interrupted by a whistle. Foul called, Arteaga shut down from behind. And we move. Sembrano ducking and diving by Preston and taking his space and switching the ball to Munjoma, who takes a couple steps back and settles it well on the near side. Munjoma right by Bagley and right to the end of the road as he took a heavy touch and took it over the line. 58th minute and still toothless Phoenix Rising.
That was a little disappointing at the end for Eddie, and this is the question. Who does Jai come on for? Is it one of the midfielders, Hernandez, Zambrano, maybe Harvey, maybe Varela? Is it a swap with Munjoma and you move Jai to the left and Trejo to the right? You've got all sorts of options when you bring on a fullback, and you're already missing a fullback technically purely in this team.
Slung forward by Leo Diaz. Hopping and skipping towards the end line and all the way out for a goal kick on the other side. I think nothing really encapsulates how Las Vegas want to play more than that. A goal kick out for another goal kick. The exact opposite, Rios Novo hits his goal kick about 3 yards out to the right for Fuenmayor. Back to Rios Novo by way of Harvey, and now wide for Crutzen, and this is how it's drawn up by Wangera. Beautiful build-up in Zambrano. A whole head of speed and a lot of room, pushing down the left side, and put the ball in the wrong place for Varela. It's that middle area, the middle quadrant, the middle third of the pitch, laterally and vertically, where Rising are really breaking down.
Not having a fun time when they can get into the spaces and try and build something into the final third. There's one part lacking in every move, whether it's the first part, the second part, or the third part. It's never connected.
Maybe the remedy is number 6. Babu Jai is on. Looks like Fede Varela's day is done. He looked to create, and he looked good early, but ultimately not enough. And here's a long ball forward that Kevin reads well, rises to, deflects out to the foot of Preston, who booms one out for a goal kick. That was dangerous, though, as Carlton tried to swing in. Catch the Rising back three, flat-footed there. Goal kick taken, Crutzen down the left side, deep in his own half. Clamped down upon by 2 Las Vegas players, and the ball is just hoofed all the way back to Rios Novo. Hour into this one. Still scoreless, 0-0 here on Dollar Beer Night. Rising, 15 wins, no draws, no losses in regular season. Dollar Beer Night contest, that in a bit of jeopardy now. Into the box, Arteaga, set down. Harvey cutting across the area, now with Jai. About 25 yards from goal, Hernandez flings wide, Manjoma to the back post, a little bit too high. Jai with fresh legs, though, will chase it down and keep it on. Babu Jai driving by Stauffer and losing his balance and losing the ball as well. Diaz will clear it out, Rising to take a throw. A couple changes to be made by Isidro Sanchez at the next moment of opportunity. Looks like it's 2. And that moment is now. Justin Ingram coming on. Also looks like Tabor Tataka Preston's night is done. Creative and cutting at times, but now withdrawn. Replaced by Eric Otang, who's only made 1 or 2 appearances for the club so far this year, the Ghanaian. I believe Rios was the other player taken off. Throw in, Harvey pirouetting on the left side, the Panamanian getting to work. Can't wiggle free, and here's Carlton blurring forward. Rios Novo's out of goal as that ball is launched down the left line, but it will be a throw-in as unable to catch up is Mateo Faz. Unable to catch up has been a phrase I've said a lot tonight. Rios Novo, Zambrano under duress, and that's a brilliantly played ball as he's cut down from behind. Hernandez works out of the fray, and now they're going to bring it back because Zambrano is struggling and down on the pitch in the fetal position.
I understand player safety is of the utmost importance, and I really do respect that from a referee. What is the desire to stop it 2 seconds in every time? Like, I understand, like, advantage is not necessarily relevant here because of the positioning on the field, but Rising are building, Rising are moving. Lambert has a chance that he can play Manjoma down the line, and they're in. And Juan Guerra's not happy about it. He's talking to the 4th official. I think it's Alan Martinez down there. And
it is.
It's frustrating. He's frustrated. He's not happy with the idea that there's not been any ability to play on in this game. It seems like anytime someone falls down, we stop the play. And that's okay. Player safety matters, but so does the rhythm and the functioning play of the game.
It has been a bluntly played for 64 minutes. A match that's been short on rhythm, something that will not put a smile on the face of the Venezuelan gaffer of Phoenix Rising. Maybe this will, though. Jai swinging in and swishing a ball into the area to be stabbed away by Carroll. 64th minute, Rising have a corner. Maybe this is where Daniel Crutzen strums the song in motion. Hernandez provides the short option. One hand up from Crutzen, played on the ground and straight off the midriff of, I believe, Tyler Bagley over there. Another corner, a do-over. This time a little bit higher, but not high enough as it's clipped out at the near post. Manjoma racing to it, runs it down and takes it up ahead of Hotang. Jai now on the near side and all the way back for Rios Novo, who's chased by Mateo Faz. And Jai on the right, not his natural habitat here. Harvey and Hernandez in the center circle, and now it's Trejo completing the triangle and funneling wide for an overlapping Crutzen approaching the final third. Circulated back for Hernandez, who cuts in on his right foot and cuts one into the box. Bouncing once, twice, couple headers in there. Hernandez up for it, skying and plotting one into the area to be swung away by Las Vegas. Zambrano retreats and wins it back, but Andrew Carlson's able to do the same. And then a big tackle as Carlson's taking off his footing. Fair play, though, from Zambrano, shaking off the knock and shaking up Carlton with a pristine challenge. And now a pristine ball ahead, Arteaga. The edge of the area, but the move is stopped by an offside flag. Not much happening in the match. Moment to say that Backheel presents the next 10 minutes of this one. Website taking American soccer coverage one step further with regular articles and podcasts on the U.S. men's and women's national teams, the USL, NWSL, MLS, and much, much more. Backheel brings you the very best from the American game. Visit backheel.com or scan the QR code on your screen. Subscribe today. Las Vegas with it. 65th minute. Leo Diaz gets away from goal. Glenn Meyer with a little bit of a bump for Porteo Faz. Center man says, get up, Porteo. Manjoma down line, and Harvey making his presence known in a big tackle. Got a lot of men and not a lot of the ball, and that's the first caution of the match shown to Bagley. Joe Flores has managed the match well. Waiting till the 67th minute to show the yellow card. This one has some hard feelings, a lot of history between these two clubs, but it's yet to boil over so far. Porteo Faz back to his feet and having a bit of a conversation with Rocco Rios Novo in the center circle. So crazy to me that Rocco feels just as comfortable there as he does in between the sticks of his own goal. Rising have a free kick. Crutzen with 1 foot over the near touch line. 1 foot in the field of play, straddling the chalk as he looks at this free kick, as well as Hernandez. Instead, it's Crutzen swinging it in, and not quite enough venom on the delivery. Manjoma swaps it in up high for it. It's Leo Diaz as that cross came in from deep. Diaz claims it, but then he hits the punt first time very quickly and straight up Babu Jai, but the official is going to say that Manu Arteaga interfered with the distribution there and bring it back.
And he did as well. It's the right decision from our lead man with the whistle.
Where is the line there as a goalkeeper sets up to distribute the ball?
I mean, you can't block the punt, so the line is, unlike a lot of things in this game, very black and white. You can't block any sort of punt. It's infringement. And had a teammate once. It was like under 13s or under 12s that blocked a punt and he scored, and the referee didn't call anything. So we, it was not a fun way to find out a couple days later that we actually didn't win the game when they took the point away from us.
This time, not interfered with as Diaz as he punts it all the way to Rocco Rios Novo, who picks it up.
It's like, what are we doing, guys? We won the game. We won it 2-0, but because one of the goals we scored was of illegal matters, the game is now all of a sudden void. Like, I didn't agree with it.
Were you still on about this? Here's Manu Arteaga. Oh, and he left the ball behind Danny Trejo as he, like a tornado through midfield, little roulette turn, got by 2 and couldn't complete the nice move. Now Harvey. Burns right on by Carlton. Jai skipping and scampering on the near line. Can't get rid of Stauffer there. Crutzen. Ale Funmayor pushing right just inside the attacking half. Lambert making his run down the line as Funmayor cuts back towards the center. Zambrano, and now he finds Lambert. Hernandez. Backward ball as Lambert descends into his own end and goes all the way back for Rios Novo to reset the point of attack. Puts it down line for Jai. Zambrano dropping in, making himself available, but instead forward goes Jai. Linking with Trejo, who links with Manjoma, who has plenty of room to roam, approaching the box on the right. Manjoma still cutting in. Eddie Manjoma just missed on his left foot. Slammed one at goal. Flashed one right by the far post as Diaz is still down. Looks like Kubo Torres sets up to come in and lend some quality in the final 20 minutes. Pato Boteo Faz is done. Torres, who spent last year in Orange County, as experienced and successful as they really come at this division.
Yeah, he's fun to watch when you want to go win a game late. You got 20 minutes to insert him in and dump it long to him and watch it go off of his head. How about Eddie Manjoma, the livest of live wires tonight?
He's been the primary creator so far.
Creator and finisher in a lot of ways. He's creating his own chances and taking advantage of himself.
That ability to cut in and use both feet so valuable as a wingback in this system.
I think anybody in the world that plays this game would wish they had that.
Carlton does, and he's got the ball. And he's got it to Kubo Torres right at the D at the edge of the 18, and a shot from distance. And Jimenez didn't miss by much. Just ran into the ball, and when he hit it, it stayed hit. Ended up in the north end.
Might as well let one loose in this kind of game.
I believe that's called Sejas range.
I miss him.
As do I, friend. Danny Trejo making waves and making room for himself, approaching the box and cutting it across the 18 to Manjoma. Eddie and Hernandez and a long wide Jai, side to side like a metronome Phoenix, and now into the area. Trejo, look at goal off the woodwork. A nearly moment against his former club for Danny Danger. Can't punch it in. All the way back for Crutzen, and now in his own end, Zambrano. Funmayor. Trejo did so well to create a look at goal and put it in a decent spot, just couldn't get it by the woodwork. Jai hounded and harassed and fouled. Looks like by Andrew Carlton, who came all the way from this left side to the right to involve himself.
He charged through the doors and went right for Babacar Jai.
He's a player who's been known to throw caution to the wind.
At times.
Really can create some chaos. Rising have a free kick here in the 73rd. And the goalkeeper, Leo Diaz, has gone over again. there's one place in the stadium that you don't want to do that, regardless of whether or not Diaz is legitimately injured. It's right in front of the south end, and they are frothing. The backup goalkeeper, Andre Zulaga, has only made one appearance this year. And prior to this year, only 4 professional appearances. That 2 seasons ago, and Fort Lauderdale FC's team.
He's been good today, Leo Diaz. They've had a long set of goalkeepers that have really shown brightly. What was the guy's name last year?
It was Romero.
Tomas Romero. Is it Tomas Romero? He was awesome for them. He kept them in so many games. And I had a coach once, and I'm not insinuating that this is what Leo Diaz is doing. I had the first coach that taught me how to game manage and the dark arts, stay at a game. If you're going to fall down once and fake an injury, you best be sure you better fall down 2 or 3 more times to really make sure they know that you're selling it or really hurt. So I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but if he is doing what he could be doing, then that's pretty smart.
He is back up now. Zulaga is warming. Again, as we led the broadcast, this isn't a team that has been known to play for all 3 points. They have 6 draws this year, and it is starting to feel like they're just trying to get to the end of the line. Rising with a free kick from the far touchline. Crutzen, that's a decent delivery towards the penalty spot. High header from Lambert, and that skews out for a goal kick.
You wonder when that directive changes for Las Vegas. All these draws, if they draw tonight, they're 7 points adrift to the playoff spots. That's no way to play in a season. Your team should have the desire to go to a postseason and play in knockout football. 7 points adrift, and they're playing for draws? That's frustrating, I think, if I was a fan.
Kubo Torres might have more ambitious ideas than Carlton. Hammered one first time off the half volley from about 30 yards and missed by mere inches. He smoked that thing. And Fuenmayor, adrenaline pumped up a bit by that near miss. Sets rising towards the opponent's goal. Babu Jai cutting in and still streaking forward. It's Babu. And he's chipped it up into the area for Trejo, and Diaz is flopped at it and wisely let it go, understanding that he might not have been able to control that, and it come off Trejo last, so it's a goal kick. Rising, though, from back to front like that, shaking off any kind of damage done by that near miss from Carlton. 77th minute. The Red Sea starting to rock and rumble now. Making noise anytime Diaz gets a touch as he sent that goal kick away and sent it out of touch for a rising throw. Trejo drops in, gets one touch to it. Not a good enough one to bring it down, and Rising and Las Vegas players come together along this near side trying to win it. Harvey's grabbing at his nose as the ball lapsed over this near touchline and out for a rising throw. Play will be stopped.
I think Juan Guerra was asking for a forearm to the face of Carlos Harvey. Who's the next difference maker? I reckon Conway would get out there. Uzuchukwu probably as well. Torres would have to be among the groups as a brief spurt man with how good he's been in his career in the Rising colors off the bench.
Ball towards the Rising goal. Justin Ingram gets what feels like his first touch after subbing in about 10 minutes ago. Hung cross, curling in, back post, and Vegas take the lead. It's Kubo Torres. Mr. Roboto in the near corner adds just a little bit of oil to the mechanical march of Las Vegas. They light the lamp for the first time tonight. It's 1-0 and a Rising trail.
Feels about right, doesn't it?
Just one glimmer, one glimpse at goal, and the roadside able to convert. brilliant ball in.
Yeah, it was great service. And what did we say? Cubo Torres. Why do they call him Cubo? His head's shaped like a cube. He's really good at heading the ball into the back of the net. It's a perfect lancing header. And Rising are going to counter with a big guy of their own in Jackson Conway in a second here. He's not come on yet, but he will. Results-based business. And Rising, when they don't have the performance and they don't get a result, like, that's not a good game. It's not a good day in the office. And this is the most frustrated I've seen Juan Guerra after 75, almost 80 minutes of a game so far.
Be interested to see what the stats say. How many shots on target Phoenix have at this moment in time? It can't be more than 1 or 2. In fact, it is 2 on 10 attempts. Rios Novo, the impetus is with Phoenix now. 12 minutes plus stoppage to get one back and save face here towards the end line. Jostling forward is Wanjoma. Bagley able to seal him off with the ball, though, and it will be a goal kick. We led the broadcast by telling you Phoenix haven't won 3 in a row in nearly 400 days. Hopes so high coming into this one. Hard to say when this ground has felt as deflated as it did right after the ball rippled in the back of the Rising net. Jackson Conway on, Renzo Zambrano off. So likely a shuffling of the deck. Harvey into a more central role and maybe a 4-man front line. Ball away from the back. Cubo Torres unable to rise to it as Fuenmayor is the one to win. Trejo has shifted over onto this near side and won it for his club. Harvey, square ball down line. Arteaga pursuing and Bagley over on a heap as Arteaga tried to swim to his inside shoulder. And play is stopped and Physio coming on. What's the change that Juan Guerra makes now?
More crosses, more dumps into the area. You've got Conway out there. You've got Trejo, who's a poacher. You've got Arteaga, who can score goals. And again, it always feels like there's something that Juan Guerra can do. We felt that in Charleston, the first game of the year. There was something he could do to change that game. We felt it at times in San Antonio. We felt it every stretch of the season. Like, there's always a moment where Juan can change the face of this game. I regret to say this, maybe I will, but I don't feel that in this one. It feels like he's not got the options. He doesn't have, as a staff, the ideas to figure this one out. Not saying he's been out-coached by Isidro Sanchez, but his team have been outworked, out-hustled, out-maneuvered, and from the get-go out-strategized in a lot of ways. The changes he's made have worked, but Cubo Torres gets in and finds the right space. He's unmarked, crucially, a free header, and that's where we stand. I don't know if there is an idea left in this game, especially with the way Vegas are going to clock this clock out.
Vegas player is able to get back up. I believe that was Timothy Solly that went down, not Bagley. Solly's going to head over to the fourth official and come back on here in a moment. Diaz glides one downfield towards Cubo Torres. Second ball lapped up by Hernandez. Conway trying to hold it up. Tilted back towards the Rising end, and now with Rios Novo. And Jai walking it out of the back as Rising set their move up. Torres pressing, bad ball from Jai. Trejo rescues it. Gets it to Harvey, who gets it to Crutzen, who gets it all the way back to Rios Novo and relieves the pressure on the ball. Fuenmayor now near side, 83rd minute. Ale looks up and cuts some grass with a skipping ball to Arteaga, who's uprooted by a big tackle from Zale. Now Atang, down the line he goes, and Fuenmayor will roll it out for a Las Vegas throw, and now Andrew Carlton's fallen over.
This is game management. It's the way to go about it, and Carlton's going to be subbed off, so maybe it's real, but still, if you're about to be subbed off, you might as well fall over and clock away 20 more seconds.
Well, he's retracted. Carlton 5-7 coming off. Oncoming, the 6'5", Marcelo Lage. Lage, who scored last week against Pittsburgh late, is the tallest player in the history of Las Vegas Lights Football Club.
Solid nugget.
One might call it sick.
It's pretty good.
So that's about as night and day as you can get, and letter of intention in clear, bold black letters for Las Vegas. They're going to try and ride this one out and win it 1-0. Cubo Torres took it to the corner, took it out of play, and Rising take the goal kick with intention and swiftness. Jai, and now Hernandez, and now down the left for Trejo, who's pretty much got free range to roam, it feels like, in the current setup from touchline to touchline to involve himself where he sees fit. Fuenmayor walking across midfield. Diagonal ball all the way to the opposite corner from the near side. It never reached Jai, and it's headed out for a rising throw. 5 minutes to save themselves, the home side on Dollar Beer Night. Las Vegas have never won in Phoenix in 6 attempts. Rising have never lost a regular season Dollar Beer Night. 15-0 coming into this. Chopping challenge. And Rising take the free kick immediately. Jai trying to squirm free of the tackle. Can't do it. And Las Vegas just plow it to the opposite end. Rios Novo watching it bounce as he backs up into his 18. Crutzen arriving at the ball to play it back to the goalkeeper of Phoenix Rising. Trejo dropping in from the defensive half to the attacking one. Just gliding along the grass and sweeping a ball into the center for Harvey. Right back for Trejo on the 1-2 at the edge of the area, and he couldn't untangle his feet. Hernandez with it now. Advanced position for Lambert and into the final third for Manjoma. Manjoma walking the ball forward and putting it between the defender's legs. That was Otang. Manjoma goes down, but no whistle. And just cleared to the opposite ends. Real Snovo picks up possession and swaps it to the far side for Crutzen. And Harvey driving forward. Jai gets by one, twirls and locates Harvey on the wide side of the pitch, who plays Jai back in. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Cross in, blocked. Las Vegas will walk to recover the ball. They just play downfield. There's a collision, and I believe Cubo Torres is the one who's won a free kick inside his own half. I don't think Las Vegas have played a pass on the ground since they took the lead and made it 1-0.
I don't think so either. It's game management. It's well done from a Vegas team that I would like to say they know how to win because they look like it, but they don't. They're without one on the year.
This would be a pretty big black mark for Phoenix. Wangera makes the change. It's Eddie Manjoma, the creator of many an opportunity for Phoenix tonight, at least the ones they've had. He's off for Henry Uzochukwu, who rejoins the action for Phoenix after several weeks out with injury. Fresh legs and a man who knows how to make an impact. Here's Jai on the opposite side. Trudging into the final third, and now Harvey and into the center for Hernandez. A quiet night from Jose Andres. This is a decent ball weighted well to the feet of Arteaga, who whittles his way through a couple defenders to deliver the ball back to Kevin Lambert. Lambert marauding into the middle of the park. Hernandez, nowhere to go but back for Fuenmayor. Ale forward. Arteaga. Hernandez switches the ball from the center to the wide side, and Harvey. Trejo chiseling forward, approaching the box on his right foot. Takes one hop and is collected at the near post by Leo Diaz as a looping run from Arteaga was a touch late there. south end grumbles, it moans. Ball cracked away by Diaz. A little bit of contact, but no whistle as Cubo Torres went over quickly. Fuenmayor. And maybe Kevin Lambert's the one with the bright idea. Racing down the right side into the channel for Conway. Poor first touch. Diaz boots away as it just glanced off the boot of Conway, and back for Diaz, who's fallen over now. Now he's back up. Ball towards goal, and oh my, it's hit the crossbar. Ball hit back towards goal. Conway whacked at it. That shot came from about 50 yards and nearly went in as Leo Diaz tried to feign injury. Second time off the bar for Rising today. Final minute of regular time.
I don't know if Phoenix deserved that, but Leo Diaz certainly deserved that for sitting down for the fourth time.
Fuenmayor. Arteaga holding it up at the edge of the area. It's actually Jackson Conway, and he's gone down. Edge of the 18. Is it in the box or not? It doesn't look.
It's outside.
Yeah. He's offside?
It's outside. Sorry.
A lot of commotion here.
That was certainly frustrating. Crutzen will stand over it. Arteaga as well. It's got to be Daniel Crutzen's, I'd imagine, to take. 7 of stoppage time is quite literally a remarkable time as well. So there's all the time wasting we've been trying to get back, and we do get it back.
Manu Arteaga can stroke one from this range, as can Daniel Crutzen. It's a 6-man barricade for Las Vegas as Diaz hops on his line. Arteaga loops one towards the near post and just a touch high. Not a bad attempt. Not good enough in this moment, though.
No, and he's the guy I would have wanted to take it, if I'm being honest, as we enter our stoppage time.
Clock running on Phoenix. Again, 7 minutes of stoppage time. Diaz takes a stutter run up to the ball. Hits it long and high. Cubo Torres gets the first touch. Second one belongs to Lambert. Third belongs to Ingram as Harvey walks it to the near corner. Lambert blocked out by Otang. It will be a throw. As deep inside the near corner as one can be. Kevin Lambert told to back up. Torres pressing towards it. Fuenmayor, switch of play. Jai. Plenty of acreage to roam down this left side, and he sees Danny Trejo down the line. Rising, charging into the attacking half. Trejo charging into the final third. He's tumbled over, but no foul. Clean tackle. Fuenmayor with it now, and Crutzen into the offensive half. Trejo circulated into the center. Harvey. Conway trying to hold it up, falling for Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo into Rosette off his left foot and well too high.
That kind of day. 2 crossbars. A couple of admittedly wasteful opportunities to go, and lots of time wasting.
Nothing for Rising, though, that you could really sink your teeth into.
No, I think that perhaps the best chance was certainly the Monjomo run and maybe Trejo's first effort off the bar. That's it, though.
Prancing to the ball like a drum major, Leo Diaz. He finally gets rid and gets it to Cubo Torres, who gets knocked out of the way, and now with Harvey. And Harvey like a lightning bolt through midfield, just cutting away. Hernandez on the wide side as Harvey finally defers. And Trejo, and circulated back to Harvey on the far side of play, and Slung back into the box for Hernandez, who showed just a little bit too much of the ball to Zali, who boots it out for a throw. And now Jai pirouetting and pushing his way by one. Plays a 1-2 with Trejo. Jai cross, back post. Little over hit. Fuenmayor sticks with it. Now Arteaga can't create the room. Some around the ground may have thought it was a handball, but booted away. Will be a throw-in for Rising 3 minutes into the 7 allotted. Hernandez, Fuenmayor. Back to Crutzen, dead center of the park. And Harvey approaching the final third. Hernandez into the box and left shy of Manu Arteaga. Fuenmayor reaches it and rifles a pass across the field to Babu Jai, and now Harvey, and right back to Ale Fuenmayor, who drives forward, and still Ale at the edge of the 18, and wide for Babu in the final third. Left side, Babu sizing up the cross, blotted out, and it's a corner kick for Phoenix. Crutzen makes the long haul over to take this. Better be a good ball. Fans starting to make their way to the exit. Daniel Crutzen trying to grab it back from the abyss for Phoenix Rising. Virtually everybody in the area for Phoenix. Rios Novo is about 5 paces into the opposition half. Hernandez is the short option. Out-swinging ball. Takes one touch inside the 18. Uzochukwu's to it. Henry Uzochukwu. Forward, left side, Conway. Jackson Conway. And it's out for a corner as it's batted away at the near post by Leo Diaz. Thought for a moment Conway had just missed, but no, another stab at it for Daniel Crutzen. Taken short, edge of the area. Jai wasn't ready for it. All the way back to Rios Novo. Rocco booms one into the area. Up high. One-header, two-header. Arteaga hit towards goal with good technique and a good strike at that, but it's blocked out. Rolls all the way out for a throw. 95th minute now, 2 left. Uzo to take the long throw from the near side. Everybody into the box. It must be now for Phoenix. Near post ball across the 6. Wrung at goal by Conway, and he couldn't square himself over top of it. Out for a goal kick that will likely take 2 or 3 minutes.
It was a pretty long throw in there. Looked good, looked like it was on its way, and still nothing goes. This is credit to Leo Diaz. This has probably been the longest 5.5 minutes of my life. That ball has not been in play for more than 3 of it. I wonder if we'll stretch it out to 8. I kind of hope we stretch it out to 8, not even just from a fan's perspective, but from a perspective of an enjoyer of the game and what the referee should do.
Diaz kicks free. The captain, Lambert, rises to it, and Kubo Torres grabs at his head there. So play must be stopped. The goal scorer, Kubo Torres, he's the one who's pushed Vegas in front and pushed them that close to their first win of the year, their first win ever at Phoenix Rising, and they will have it. Las Vegas come in on a dollar beer night, one of the most intimidating atmospheres you will ever see in this league, and they snatch all 3 points from Phoenix. It's a black eye of a result.
Yeah. Nope, it was no good. I think that's the easiest way to put it. A disappointment, a final result that I don't think hangs the quality of the 2 teams out there, but it hung what Rising played like out there. It was never pretty. The performance wasn't great. The result didn't accompany it, and it is what it is.
Unable to generate the chances, only a handful of shots on goal. And it turns out it's not enough. Phoenix Rising failed for the first time in USL regular season play on dollar beer night. That's a sour taste. We'll sit with it for a moment. Back with post-game coverage here on Rising Radio. The final score after 90 minutes and a little bit more. 1-0 Las Vegas. It's Cubo Torres that gets the roadside, all three.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
A hard result to swallow on Dollar Beer Night. What was supposed to be a celebration this evening has turned into something of, to be quite frank, an embarrassment.
Yep.
Phoenix fall 1-0 to the last place team in the USL Championship, the first win of the year for Las Vegas. And that's going to be a tough one to wash off. Final stats after 90 minutes, Rising 68% of the ball throughout the duration of the game, only 3 shots on target after 16 attempts. Of course, 2 shots that hit the crossbar technically don't count as shots on target, so that should be taken into account here when analyzing this in post. This is the one that stands out to me, Ryan. Las Vegas win a match here tonight in which they only completed 125 passes that left the foot of one of their players and ended at the foot of a friendly player, and only completed 57% of their passes for the game. But they find the goal, and that's
crazy.
all that matters.
It's so almost dumb. Like it's the beauty of the game and also the stupidity of it is unlike almost every other sport. You can play football, you can play basketball, you can play baseball, and on the day, whoever the better team is wins the game 95, 99% of the time. The beauty of this one is the team that has more of the ball, has more of the chances, completes more passes, does all the statistical things correctly, they can lose. It's the beauty of this game. It's why it matters. Vegas was not the better team today, but Rising didn't do enough to stand out as the better team. They were incrementally better, but they were not significantly superior to the opposition today. And that's what cost them. 1 cross in, 1 unmarked Cubo Torres, who's one of the best headers of a ball in the attacking positions in this league, and you lose 1-0. And that's the reality of it. It stings. It hurts. It might be the worst loss Rising have encountered. And since we began doing this 2 years ago, you and I, Peyton, I wouldn't leave it to be short. I wouldn't leave it anywhere other than that. It's just, hey, this was not a result, and it's now 2 games in a row where the chance creation against a team with a low block has faltered. I think it's as simple as you asked me during the break, what's wrong? I think it's as simple as the players. It's not the coaches. They have the ideas. The ideas aren't lacking. It's the players that need to execute the final run, that last little effort. There were 2 chances that weren't even on-target shots of Trejo in the first half driving in, firing a ball, and Carlos Harvey's just a half second late. That's the instance that's wrong. It's just that one little bit. Everything was connected in that first half. It felt fun. It felt free. They weren't connected. They weren't there. That's what's wrong. It's just that little marginal error that's not necessarily even a missed shot or a missed clearance or anything like that, or even the goal today where it was unmarked, and that's not the marginal error I'm talking about. It's just the mental moment of making the right run at the right time, making the right decision at the right time. That's what's lacking.
It's a low block continues to frustrate Phoenix as Juan Guerra speaks to media down on the field. It is so fascinating to me. They feel like they rise to the level of their competition when their opponent is not inclined to sit back and absorb the pressure. When the level of the competition drifts a little bit lower, that's when they run into problems as they're unable to penetrate against a team that's only intention is to stop them.
Especially Vegas. Again, we opened this broadcast with it's a Vegas team that's winless, but are pesky enough to have a bunch of draws. They don't lose a lot of games, and eventually a team that doesn't lose is going to win one. You didn't think it would be tonight against a Rising team that's got the upward momentum that they do, but it was. It's annoying. Flat out, frankly put, it is annoying, it's frustrating, it's silly, it's scary in some ways as well to watch a team that has all this talent. And we've bigged up the last 2 weeks, and rightfully so. They got a job done. They played well against Hartford. They got a job done. They didn't play that well, but got a result. It's the first time we've really gotten to say that against Orange County. You knew it was going to come back at some point, and it was this week. I suspected it would be Pittsburgh. A long road trip, 3 straight wins, a tricky, tough Riverhounds team. I thought that would be the game, not this one. But it's this one, and maybe that means that Pittsburgh's a better performance and a better result in turn. But now all eyes will turn immediately to that one. Bob Lilly and the Riverhounds have a really good team. They're progressing in the Open Cup. They're playing good football. They're tough to beat. They're playing better than maybe any other team in the Eastern Conference right now at times. They're shaky and spurty, but when they're on, they're on. They just beat this Lights team 4-1. So not a lot, I think, to go to the drawing board, but a lot on the training ground of just the repetitions. I don't think they can do much more from a coaching staff to draw things up, but they can certainly find a way to get the players to a level and to an idea mentally where they can just go on instinct and not have to think. That's what's lacking, is you need to go on instinct. You don't need to take that half second or second to make a thought. Just go. Understand that this is the moment where you go. This is the moment where you stay. It's instinct at this point.
Should be said that this is a team that's getting back healthy, that will be aided by the return of Emi Cueto and Erickson Gallardo when it happens. Yeah. The full fitness of their first-choice fullbacks, Gabby Torres, Henry Uzuchukwu. We'll see how that battle plays out for playing time as Eddie Manjoma has made his presence felt, I think, in a starting role these last couple weeks. He's been very good. So that'll be interesting as well. Ryan, you mentioned Pittsburgh Riverhounds, the upcoming contest for this team in 8 days' time next Saturday. It's a Riverhounds team that's only lost 1 of their last 8. A Riverhounds team that's only lost 2 of their last 15.
Yep.
And just advanced to the quarterfinal of the Open Cup and are one of the last 8 teams in that competition. It should help Rising that there will be a midweek match upcoming that Pittsburgh will have their attention set on, sure. But it's a Pittsburgh team that has the leading scorer in this league in Albert Dequa, and it's going to be a tall task.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's the same thing as well. It's a team that likes to sit and likes to counter and likes to also play at times. They're basically better Vegas, is the way I'd describe it. And that's maybe not giving them all the respect that they deserve at the same time. By calling someone better Vegas, it's like, oh, they're still not that good. No. They are better Vegas, and then they are like 10 times better than Vegas. And they do everything better than Vegas does by that same margin. So it's tricky. It's fun. It's going to be interesting to watch. And this will be a long Friday night, and because it's a Friday night, a long weekend for Juan Guerra to sit and try and figure something out.
What's up next for Juan Guerra and his team? That aforementioned away day at Pittsburgh, then back-to-back home matches for the first time in league play this year as they welcome in Juan Guerra's former club, Oakland Roots, and then a struggling Louisville City team on June 17th. Then away, a huge derby day on a Wednesday midweek at New Mexico. Got anything left?
No, play better. That's the bottom line. Quicker, faster, smarter. And that one word, again, more intuition. Go off of feeling. Don't think so much, but play is always what Pelé and the Brazilian teams in the early 60s, late 70s, or early 70s said, is it's just we play. We don't think. And that's, I think, the next step for this Rising team is they have the ideas. They have the tactical nous, but not this nonchalantness about the way they play. You watch Man City and they just go. They play.
Yeah.
They don't think, but they say they think, but they don't, because it's so rigid in the back of their heads that they just know to go and where to go and what to do. That's the next step. And you're always going to encounter blocks in the road. We talked a lot last week about 25 games is where Juan Guerra wants his team to be ready. It's match day 11. There's a lot of time left. We asked for a lot early on, and we should. It's a club that's got the ability, the standard that we should ask for a lot, and there's still a long way to go before this team is truly and fully should be ready.
In closing, Juan Guerra talked before the Tampa Bay match that this next stretch of 4 games would be crucial to their season. Those 4 games being Tampa Bay, home to Hartford, away to Orange County, and a home against Las Vegas. How do you think Rising make out?
6 points. That's the bottom line. It should have been 9 is what I would have been very, very happy with. If you had told me 7, 2 wins, a draw, and a loss, I would have taken that. So 6 is subpar. It's not where they should be, and it sees them slide down the table. They had a chance to jump into the top 4 today in the Western Conference and put themselves in a position to be in a spot, albeit a third of the way into the season, of hosting a playoff game here again. And now they fall, I think, to 6th. So it's not what you want out of the month stretch. And you got a tough month coming up with Pittsburgh and Roots and Lou City and New Mexico, and it rolls on and on.
It does. Our coverage will continue as we move down the line in this USL Championship campaign. For now, I'm going to go see if there's any more of those dollar beers left. For Ryan Sikora and our whole team, I've been Peyton Gallagher. Rising fall in this one to Las Vegas Lights, 1-0 after 90 minutes.
The sun's shining, birds are singing, and all feels right in the world.
Until the season changes and suddenly you lose your motivation to get out of bed. In fact, 1 in 5 people experience some form of depression, no matter the season or time of year.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all, because we want you to live your best life and be your best you all year round.
Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
The Supplemental Security Income Program provides monthly payments to help meet basic needs, like putting food on the table, paying the rent, or buying new shoes for growing feet. You may qualify if your income and financial resources are low, and you are 65 or older, or an adult or child with a disability, or who is blind. Call 1-800-772-1213 or go to ssa.gov/SSI to start to apply. Produced by Social Security at U.S.
I'm
taxpayer
Naheem
expense.
Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org
Does this sound
today.
familiar? Tired of listening to this every day? How does this sound? Tune in to blazeradioonline.com. With thousands of songs on display, you can be sure to sing your blues away via our broadcast, running from 6 a.m. to midnight every day of the week.
hawks.com/tickets to get in on the action today.